Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Presented by Engineer Mashal Khan. Today, my topic is design of retaining wall. So, here we have the contents: retaining wall, function of retaining wall, force acting on retaining wall, terms related to retaining wall, types of retaining wall. First of all, we will define what is retaining wall. Retaining walls are used to hold back masses of earth or other loose materials. Retaining walls are relatively rigid walls which are used for supporting the soil masses laterally so that the soil can be retained at different level on the two sides. Typically, it can keep stiff near vertical or vertical slope. Mostly it is used in hilly side farming or roadways overpasses. It is also used in the construction of railway, highway, bridges, canals, basement walls and buildings, above-ground reservoir and swimming pool, etc. Here we have the function of retaining wall. What is the function of retaining wall? The main and basic function of retaining wall is to retain the soil. Lateral pressure. Generally, retaining wall is built to resist the slope, earth and water from structure. So here, which forcing are acting on the retaining wall? The forces which are acting on the retaining wall is earth pressure. Earth pressure will push the wall forward or overturn when if it not properly addressed. So the earth pressure are acting horizontally where the gravity are acting downward and reactive forces which are acting upward in the direction. So here the some forces which are acting on the retaining wall later are pressures are charge pressure, active pressure and passive pressure, self weight and gravity force, seepage pressure. The term which are related to retaining walls. Here you can see that the earth pressures, the backpile which are acting horizontally on the retaining wall and some forces which are acting reactive forces which are acting upward in the direction and some forces which are downward in the direction which are called gravity force. Now when the earth pressure acting on the retaining wall, it can deflected the retaining wall. You can see that in figure. Now here the ground level and toe, key and heel. Types of retaining wall. There are mainly three types of retaining wall. First of all, gravity wall, second, cantilever wall, and number third, counterfort wall. Gravity wall. The gravity wall retains the earth entirely by its own weight and generally contain no reinforcement. The gravity wall or that wall which have their own weight, and here we do not provide reinforcement. Gravity wall depend on their mass. It can may be constructed from stone, concrete or other heavy material which are used to resist the pressure from behind. Now here the till drain and the continuous back drain cruise stone, which are provided in the gravity wall. So cantilever wall. The reinforced concrete cantilever wall consists of the vertical arm that retains the earth and is held in the position by a footing or base slab. Here the arm, it is also called as T-shaped wall. Here the cantilever which are attached with a base slab. Cantilevered wall, it can be made from an internal stem of steel reinforced which are cast and placed concrete or mortared masonry, often in the shape of an inverted T shape. In this case, the weight of the wall on the top of hill in addition to the weight of the wall contributed to the stability of the structure. Since the arm represents a vertical cantilever, its required thickness increases rapidly with increasing height. Here we have the ground level, toe, base slab, heel, and tile drain, crushed stone, and arm. Here the back bell, which the oil pressure acting on the retaining wall at horizontal position. Counter number 3, counterport wall. Counterport wall, to reduce the bending moment in vertical wall of great height. Counterport are used spaced at distance from each other equal to or slightly larger than one half of the height. Here the counterport wall which are provided in the retaining wall. Here we have the weave hole which used for drainage purposes. Here we have the ground level and key. The counterport wall have thin vertical slab which are known as counterport. Here you can see that counterport retain wall are economical for height over about 6 meter, where the stem and the bases and the base slab are tied together by a counterport. Here you can see that the base slab and this is the counterport wall which are attached to the retaining wall. The purpose of provided counterport is to reduce shear force and bending moment in the vertical stem or and this base slab. So thank you for watching my video. For further more videos, subscribe my YouTube channel Mr. Engineer and don't forget bell icon for more updated video. Thank you for watching my video.